Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast, a place where we focus on the business side of art to help you attract more customers, increase profits, and ultimately live a life of creativity and financial freedom. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and this week is another replay episode from back in 2020, where I interview Australian oil painter Wanda Comrie. Wanda shared some amazing tips for Instagram during our chat, and the one that stood out to me the most that I still remember today, years later, was that she privately messages her potential buyers videos of her art just to show the details and personally thanks them. There's no automated system set up in her back end. She actually talks to her customers who are buying from her and is so appreciative of it. And it's like every transaction, it's not just an online transaction to her. She treats her customers like actual people. And I think a lot of times we get lost in, having so many followers and thinking, 1,000 people following me isn't enough. And it's just, I always think, imagine if all of your online followers were sitting in a room and they were the real people sitting in a room and you were actually showing them your art and telling them about it. It would be a much different experience than what I think of as posting online and just posting to the masses. And, there's no personalization there, but Wanda takes the personalization back from Instagram and uses it to be a social seller, I guess you could call it that. I think when we all hit it big and we're getting hundreds of orders every week, then that is the time to be automated. But in the beginning, especially when customers are fewer and far between, I think adding a personal touch like Wanda does really says something. And I went and peeked at her Instagram nowadays, so 4 years later from this interview, and she's still painting the same stuff. I love it. So there's a link here. You can go see her stuff. I think it would do you well to click the link, go see Wanda's paintings, because the way that she paints light, it's something else. You can tell that she still loves it. I'm so infatuated with artists who find their niche and continue to paint the thing that they love, because it spills into their paintings and you can tell. Let me know what you think about this interview from way back when that is still extremely relevant with Wanda Comrie. So if you could just start out by introducing yourself to anybody who has not heard about you just yet and how you got into the arts.
Sure. So I'm West Australian. I live down near Margaret River. You might have heard of Margaret River area, down in the southwest of Western Australia. I've just passed 50, so I've been painting with intention, probably about 4 years. I picked up a paintbrush first about 18 years ago. Instagram's really driven me it's motivated me to get on with my work and make more work. I left full-time work about 5 years ago, and I've still got a part-time job, but I'm trying to paint nearly every day.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. So did you say that you didn't start really painting until you were about 30? Is that?
Yeah, if you do the maths, yeah.
Oh my gosh, and I just wanted to highlight that too, because I meet so many people and they're like in their 20s and whatnot, and they're just like, I feel so behind. And so I just want to highlight that, because you are so advanced in your painting skills and you waited a little bit to start it. You weren't a born artist, a child prodigy or anything.
I don't think I wasn't a born artist. I did do graphic design at university, so I have been arty-farty, most of my life. I don't think I got a natural talent or anything, but
I don't think any of us do. Honestly, I don't. It's so learned and practiced.
Yeah, I think some just seem to have their little knack.
We won't talk about them.
Yeah, okay. I did graphic design. I never worked in that industry. I had a bit of a Me Too moment on my first job interview. So I went into hospitality. I had a child. I got married and divorced, and all of that stuff. Life got in the way, and I need brain space to get around get my painting happening, and that's what happened about 5 years ago. Yeah.
Awesome. So what inspires you to paint the subjects that you paint? Can you describe them a little bit to somebody listening who can't quite see your art? Because the first time I saw your art, I was like, I dig this.
I started off painting fish, and it really took me a while to find my little niche and my style. As I've got older, I've got a lot more interested in nature and gardening, and just what's around. We built a home and made a garden, and I'm fascinated by the Australian flora. So this is a little one that has got some Australian flora. This is a silver princess. I've got a protea farm. Proteas aren't actually Australian, they're South African. That's a king protea. A protea farm about 15 minutes drive from here, and they are awesome people, and I get a lot of my blooms there, but I am planting a lot in my garden, so I'm trying to have them on hand.
Oh my gosh. I love that. So who's your common buyer for this? Is it?
Oh, wow. I don't know that I've got a common one. Okay. All over the world. Lots and lots of repeat buyers, a lot of US people, but then there's German, there's Spain, New Zealand, even Hong Kong.
And you're selling most of these on Instagram?
I sell them all on Instagram.
All of them on Instagram. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. So how are these people finding you? Are you using the hashtags? What's your Instagram growth tip? Because I know so many artists are going to listen to this and be like, okay, I want to do that. So what do you do to grow on Instagram?
I haven't found the magic bullet. Do you know, I feel like you have to keep changing it up and trying new things. Looking at my statistics, they're actually finding me from all. I think you get lucky sometimes. You get lucky when you're featured on your what's it called? Where you might like this, or you might like
page maybe.
No, not that one. Where if you like someone, then they give you a list of people that you might like also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I seem to spring up in there. So
I guess that comes when you have a niche too, because then you have your own style, but you're kind of like another maybe floral artist. And if you like this floral artist, you might like another one.
That's right. It really has been a gradual growth, and I'd say consistency. You have to be there all the time. You have to be social and not just sit there and scroll. You need to be chatting, commenting, saving other people's work. You can't just be
saving other people's work. Okay.
Yeah, I a couple of people have said to me that if you are saving, your post will go higher up in the traction if more people are saving your work, not just commenting, but keeping them, real gradual. I love it. I love Instagram. I'm addicted, and I'm very happy to spend time there, way too much time.
Same. I know. I was just on it right before we got on here. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be productive. No, I'm just scrolling and commenting and liking, and I'm like, okay, well now it's time for the interview. Okay.
People who have this willpower and set their screen time, I just don't know how they do that.
Yeah, and I would do it, but then I know I would forget to turn it off when I do it in interviews like this, and I just can't do it.
No. I don't have the willpower. So consistency, I would say. photos, decent photos. Please put your photos square and get decent lighting. Edit them if you have to. And it's not hard. There's so many easy, quick to learn apps that will do that to edit your photos. What else? I guess you need to put your best work up. If you're putting up crap, you're not going to get likes. So you need to put your best work and the best photo of that work. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, because it's all about the paintings, and it's all about the photos that you take on the paintings.
Yeah. And you don't have much time to engage. People are, they go past real quick.
Yeah. Do you ever so in your captions? Do you ever maybe ask people questions, or do you tell a story of anything, or what are your captions like?
I just try and be myself. I do tend to use Aussie slang a bit.
I love it.
just the way I would speak. I have done the question thing, and sometimes that works. If I'm having a quandary about the background colour or something like that, I might, ask people's opinions, and that's fabulous. And people are, real keen to engage. I think people are very, very keen to know who is behind the paintbrush, and they like to put a face to the name. And I did a little Instagram course not long ago, a couple of hours sort of information session, and that was one of the key things that I came away with. And I did do a post a few ago and got a huge amount of engagement and met a lot more people, didn't realise they were following me. That was a great way. And people don't care what you look like or what you sound like, or they just, we're just people, and there's so many different types and genres and all that. So, I think people just love to chat.
Yeah. Yeah, they want to know who they're chatting with too.
Yeah.
They don't really care if you're not completely perfect. They want to know.
Yeah, that's right. People do like to see me painting, so the actual brush on, and a lot of stories that I do, I sort of do not how to, but what I do. And people are interested in the processes, I guess. Yeah.
And as you say that, I remember you posted something here in the past couple of weeks, and it was you were putting little highlight tips on one of your flowers or plants, and I watched the whole thing. It was just because I was really interested in that. I was like, because you were doing them all, and I'm like, I've got to see her do them all, because I know she couldn't do them all. It's funny how video works that way. You're like, I gotta keep watching.
Yeah. Although yesterday I spent ages doing a stop motion, thinking I was doing something different, and I've hardly had that's not true. I've had engagement, but not as much as I would have thought. So it's hit and miss, and you just need to keep going, I think.
It's so funny like that too. My light. It's so funny like that too, with sometimes I'll spend a long time on one, and I'll press enter, and I okay, everybody's going to comment and love this. Yeah. And it's like, sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't really care. Okay, well, whatever. I enjoy creating that. Yeah.
And I think it does depend on the time of day and who's on, whether it's a public holiday or whatever's happening. I think that influences it quite a bit. But, yeah, you don't know.
True. Okay. So I have a painting question for you. So was there anything you don't like to paint without?
I do. Yeah, I'm a podcast tragic, and I keep running out. So I'm always keen for recommendations are good. Not necessarily, sometimes music, but then sometimes silence. We have some awesome birds here, and just to have quiet is good. And I have become a bit of an incense burner lately, which is really not what I do. But, yeah, that's nice, because I spend so much time by myself. I don't know, I just think it's nice to make it a nice place to be. It is I'm very lucky. I've got a gorgeous studio. But, just make my little nest.
Oh, okay. That's so funny because I was just doing a video interview with one of my students earlier this morning, and she had some incense burning. So 2 times in one day.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the tipping point that took you from hobby to professional artist? Like what was that jump?
Probably the interest on Instagram. I was doing a lot of illustrations to start with. Someone said to me that you need to post consistently every day. And so that was that pushed me to make work more and post very often if I could. And it was just a gradual, people would take interest in what I was doing. They would ask if it was available. And of course I went, oh yeah, it's not finished yet, but yeah. And my husband and I, so I guess the tipping point was when we've kind of developed a product. So my husband makes these boards, which they're only small, 18 centimetres by 12 centimetres, and they're quite lovely to look at, even just sitting.
Yeah.
But they will hang. They will hang.
Oh wow.
That's got to hang. So they hang flat on the wall. And I guess the development of that as a product, and once we worked that out, I've had a waiting list and I just can't keep up. So yeah, people buy more than one. There's one lady who's got 15. So I don't know. People love them. So, I mean, that's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. Congrats. That's what every artist wants. You have a waiting list that you can't keep up with. I'm like always finding myself, you're like, how are you? I'm like, really good, really busy. And I always have to say, like, busy is good. Busy is good. Yeah.
Very lucky. Very lucky. Yeah. And COVID has pushed it even higher. The people engaging and scrolling has increased, definitely. And I think people are appreciating hand-painted, lovingly made things rather than mass-produced. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. And just things to decorate their home that they're spending more time in.
That's right.
All these things. Every single time I talk to an artist, they're like, that's fine. I can stay in my studio all day and paint. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, we're one of the lucky professions through this whole
Very
thing.
lucky. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. So is there any certain kind of painting style that you stay true to? Are you kind of making up your own rules, or is there do you paint the whole background first? Do you do everything by still life? Is it you're doing it all from something right in front of you, or doing a photo?
No, I compose all my photos and take the photos myself.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm buying the fresh blooms, getting, depending on the light. So it's all about the light. There's a couple of places in my home that I'm watching all the time for the beautiful light. And yeah, I've got a whole catalogue of photos now. I'm always looking for more though. So I always use a underpainting, a pink underpainting, and lots of people ask about that. So that's acrylic. There's always probably 3 layers of gesso. I always seal the board all over, and then 3 layers of gesso, 1 layer of the pink acrylic, which I find really warms up the painting, and sometimes it peeks out in little bits and pieces, but I feel like it really gives it a bit of a punch and helps with that light. And then I can usually do a small one in a sitting, so a day. So yeah, but it's usually wet in wet, so it'll all be done at once. Yeah, but I don't paint the background all. No, people often ask me that. I do the main subject, and then I put the background in around it, and then I might tidy up the edges of the foreground and the flower. But no, I've never learned that way. Although I've taught myself most of what I've learned. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a right or wrong way. It's just a personal preference. Do you use oils?
It's all oils. Yeah, yeah. I do like playing with watercolor, but my business and what I'm selling is mostly oils. Yeah.
Amazing. I love that.
Do you use oils? Are you an oil girl? No oils ever?
No oils. Yeah. I mostly do murals. So like bigger stuff. And so I'll just do interior, exterior latex acrylics. And even on canvas though, I've always been an acrylics person, mostly because I do like random layers of things. I'm like, we'll just try that and then we'll put some of that on and it just works like that. But but I it's like an artsy thing, but I like the smell of oils. So I love the blendability. So I'm loving the moving of the colors and mixing of the colors while it's wet. That's the bit I love. Awesome. Great. So let's see. I'm trying to. So another question is, what are your plans and goals for the future right now? So you've got a list of people at the moment that we're trying to keep up with, but what do you foresee yourself staying in this niche for a while, or what are your future plans and goals?
I feel like I can't paint fast enough. Someone said to me that artists' work goes in ebbs and flows, and that it might just run out, and that kind of stuck with me, and I thought, I better hurry up then. So I feel like I need to paint as fast and as much as I can. I'm contemplating doing prints. I haven't ever done any prints. Cards and all that sort of extra bit. But then I think about it and I'd rather be painting. So all that extra admin and all of that extra I'm not keen on. I would love an assistant to help me do some prep and package for posting. Yeah, that's real time consuming. But I see myself continuing on. I love to paint small. I do get commissions which are bigger, and that's great. That's I love that too. But to paint what I want on a little one each day, that's freedom. Whereas a commission, you have to stick to the brief and get it finished in time and, all that stuff.
Get paid.
Yeah, get paid. I think I'll keep going. Whether I do the prints thing, I'm not sure. I don't buy prints myself, so I'm always keen on an original and something that people have touched and made themselves. I love that idea. I'm really keen to recently I've been incorporating ceramics that are made, so the vases and the vessels that I use in my paintings by Australian or not necessarily Australian actually, ceramicists and makers. So that one's a Queensland lady, and then I just come across them on Instagram. I'm a shocking shopper.
Instagram.
I always ask the artist if it's okay to include them in paintings, and most times they're happy for me to do that. But I love to promote them as well. I love their work, so to have and to hold their vessels in my home and then put them on a painting is pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome. And it's just it's using your own platform to promote other people as well. And it's just we all work together in this. So there was a question on here. Would you ever paint your beautiful hens? Do you have hens?
Do you know, I put up the other day that I've got 2 chooks, and all these Americans said, "What are chooks?"
Yeah,
Did you know what a chook was?
No, I don't know what that is. I'm excited to learn.
A chook is a chicken. Yeah, that's what we call. Yeah, chook. So I've got two girls. Yes, two beautiful looking. They're Wyandotte, silver laced, very pretty. They hardly ever lay an egg, but they're lovely to look at.
It's not about the ability; it's the aesthetics.
No. Don't worry about the eggs. I might. I think there's other people who do beautiful animals, and I'm just on this flower journey at the moment. So maybe, but yeah.
Yeah, you should put like an egg like in your still life, just like leaning up against the vase or something.
I should. They did actually lay. It was my birthday a couple of days ago, and they actually laid an egg. Or one of them did. And they don't know where to do it, so they just lay it on their perch, and it's sort of just, if it doesn't break, that's lucky. So yeah, they're gorgeous, and I put them on my stories, and people love to look at them. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to pay attention to your stories now just to see your hens.
Yeah.
Or your
Have
chooks.
you got chooks?
I do not, but I want some. We're going to move and build a house here in the next 3 years or something. And I'm like, we very much want hens. We live right in the middle of town kind of an area.
Okay.
And there's just no room. But I want some chooks. Chooks.
Chooks, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or actually, someone just mentioned, or have a feather just sitting in the scene. So
yes.
one of their feathers.
Alex is, she's an Australian girl, and she does awesome birds. So she's all about the feathers. Yeah.
Oh,
hi, Alex.
I'll have to check her out afterwards.
Yeah. She's exhibited in the US too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Talk to her.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know, it's great. It's great, great investment for Americans to buy Australian because of the exchange rate. So it always works in your favour to, support Aussies.
That's a good idea. Yeah, and that's a great marketing tool as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you ever do any kind of like yearly sales or like any kind of like, speaking of marketing tools, or is it mostly just like simple post and people buy?
I don't even post and buy. I have a waiting list, and I direct message once my painting has finished and really physically just finished, it's wet, I take a video of the little painting and direct message it to my waiting list. And the first in who comes back to me is able to buy. So that's how I do it.
Whoa. Whoa. This is a whole new thing. I've never heard of this. Let's dissect this a second.
Yep.
So you direct message. So say you have 10 people on this list. I don't know how many, I'm sure there's more, but so say you have 10 people, like, are they in a group chat or do you individually message?
I'm actually individually messaging them. And that can be time consuming depending on how long it takes for the painting to sell. But in all honesty, usually it's gone in 5 minutes, under an hour.
Oh my gosh.
And there's, I don't know, I don't even count anymore, but there's more than 70. But I do explain to people that when they get on the waiting list that it is, this is how I do it. I direct message you, and the first in is the first to buy. So that's how it works. Yep.
Oh, I love that, because then you're taking out the whole algorithm thing. Like, they're for sure seeing it. And, you don't have to just like hope that your list or your potential buyers see it on your feed. You send a video to them. Yeah.
I do really like, because I purchase art online all the time. I love to buy other art. And I find it a bit frustrating that you can't see the surface of the painting. You just got a flat. It's hard to see the texture, and so I do take a video under my desk lamp so that you can physically see all of it. and then I will take a daylight pick. But a lot of the time it's nighttime when I finish. So, and I do try and DM at different times of the day. So because you guys are at different time frame, I try and do that to give everybody a chance. So it really depends if you're online, but if you're keen, you turn your notifications on and you will get a message. Yeah.
Ooh,
when I send out.
Oh, that's such a good idea. Okay.
I must say it is getting a bit time consuming now because I have so many people, and I have been thinking, maybe I should just post. But at this stage, that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Awesome. Maybe, okay, yeah. I'm like, maybe you could like tag them in the post or something, or maybe that would be a different, well, I don't know.
Yeah, it works at the moment, and it has done. I was sort of trying to cater to everybody's needs, or that I'd like a protea, pink protea in a such and such glass vase, and that was getting a bit tricky. So I just, I paint what I want and then send it out.
See, and I'm always like playing the devil's advocate inside in my head, because I could imagine that if I put that online, maybe some people would want to be on the waiting list who would maybe never buy. Do you get something like that, or do most people eventually buy something who's on your waiting list?
They actually do. I have had a few people during COVID who have taken themselves off the list because they're in unfortunate circumstances. But yes, usually, I progressively tick them off.
That's awesome. How do you get on your waiting list? Somebody just asked that question. It's a good question.
You send me a direct message.
Okay, perfect. I love it because it's so personal, and in a way, you know, because like a lot of things are very like automatized, and it's just very, it's like one click, he automatically does an email and all that. But yours is like, nope, let's just, let's hang out online for a second. Like,
And I loved that, and a part of me not wanting to do a shop, like update it in the shop, or be in a gallery, is that I get to talk to everybody, and I know where my paintings are going. I know where they live, and whether they've got chooks or not, because of their Instagram feed. You have a little bit of a conversation and a relationship with these people, especially if they're buying 15. It's a continual thing that goes on in the background, and I really do enjoy that bit. Especially because I hang out by myself so much, so it's these virtual friends all over the world. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool, because I could imagine it being from the art buyer's perspective as well. Just getting a personal message from you, like it's just another thing to be like, oh, you're a real person. I'm buying from a real person. Even though they see your photo, they see your video and all that, it's still, you guys are messaging, and it's not automated. I think, we're so much in an automated system right now, and I think giving that personal touch just goes so far. So, I've never heard that.
Oh, okay. Good. Try it.
Yes. Oh gosh. Okay. I might do that. Okay. Because every year I had like a birthday sale in mid-October. It's like my one sale that I do every year. So I might incorporate that into it. You've given me a whole new idea.
And you do get to keep track of your collectors, whereas with a gallery, you wouldn't even know where your work went. So you wouldn't have any relationship or connection with the. I think it's really important. I'm very much pro customer service and good customer service. And recently, I've purchased a couple of pieces of art from art galleries, professional art galleries, and I must say, because I know how much commission they take, and that I don't obviously like to pay that commission myself. That's why I do it, all the marketing and all that myself. I would expect top-notch customer service and marketing and online service, and I haven't necessarily got that from those galleries. So I really appreciate it when I get good service.
Yes, definitely. So somebody asked a question: How do you do the money transport? What is your way of doing it, since there's not an ordering platform on your website?
If it's overseas, it will be through PayPal, and if it's in Australia, direct transfer. So, yeah, I haven't had any dramas other than a couple with PayPal, which is interesting, just the way they work. It's a very big corporation. So
they take such a fee too. Oh my God.
They do take a fee. And I've recently had an issue with a customer whose credit card was breached, and the bank went to so it's complicated, but PayPal just took the money back, even though my customer had received her painting. But because her credit card was breached, the bank was trying to get transactions back. But my transaction was not one of those. Yeah. So, I haven't had many dramas I've had 2 dramas with PayPal, but mostly all good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how do you, one of the last questions here, how do you price your works? So you mentioned summer mode, you like to work small. Are they set like a set price per size, or how do you price your works?
No, I say from. So when someone asks me how much a paint or a size might be, I would say from. So it really depends what's in it. A lot of the glass work that I do is quite complex and takes a lot of time. If they wanted a glass vessel, it would be more. I have a sort of roundabout figure for each size.
Which is what?
So the small ones are from 420 Australian, which is not very much for you guys.
But I'd say, I don't think that is too much or too little. I think, and it's also attainable for people, because a lot of people, when you sell original works, it can get in the thousands and stuff. And I don't know, I think that's a great price.
It's a tricky, I'm sure you know, it's tricky to price, and I'm always looking at other exhibitions and other people's work and how much they are charging, and trying to regulate that. But I'm figuring that if people are continuing to purchase, then it can't be too much. And I have gradually increased the price. It's just a feeling I feel out constantly. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think we've gotten most of the questions out of the way. I just have one more left for you, and then I will let you get on with your day as we end our day over here.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of artists who listen to the podcast who are kind of just starting their journey, or maybe a little bit into it. But I think a lot of them are still really confused about this whole art world even still. And so what kind of advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out, maybe where you were several years ago, and what advice would you give to them to where they're just starting?
I would make the most of Instagram. It's free. It's such a huge platform. To aspire to be in a gallery is, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But I would be looking at the gallery's online presence and what they can offer, other than obviously you need a following to be able to, on Instagram you need a following. Make work. You need to make work every day as much as you can, so that you improve your style, everything. You need to know as much as you can about what you do, and get better and better at it. But I would be using Instagram. The reach is amazing, and for that to compare to a gallery which might have 50 people through the doors one day, when you can send your work out to, thousands, I don't think it can compare. Yeah. And you get to talk to your collectors, and I think that's really important. I love that bit.
I'm so glad you're such an Instagram fan, because so am I. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. There was one comment on here. Somebody says, Pat Tavarte says, I just quit my job to become a full-time artist. Wanda, you inspire me so much. Glad to hear you.
That's so nice. And I get so many of those messages, and you just wouldn't get that, through a gallery. I love that. It's awesome. And I really appreciate it, It inspires me to do more.
That's amazing. Awesome. Well, I think you're doing an amazing job. And I am so excited to follow along with your Instagram stories and see your chucks.
Yeah, you too. It's great to talk to you. All right. See you, Andrea.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Artist Academy podcast. I wanted to let you know this week only, so just this week, so hopefully you're listening in the last week of November, I am offering a $1 trial membership to the Academy from now until Christmas. So you get a whole month in the Academy for just $1. And I'm doing this because I decided, what the heck, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon of all the Black Friday holiday specials, and let's just see how it goes, because I would love to welcome many, many new members towards the end of the year, because I know everybody is busy. Or if you're not busy, I have some sales strategies for you inside of the Academy with our 4th quarter success plan. So I wanted to do, though, just $1 because I know that in general, December is not the best time to jump in and learn something new. Like, people are typically busy with holiday parties and wrapping up the end of the year. So I wanted to give this just really extra special good deal of just $1. $1. That's it. And go to artistacademy.co. And if you're not sure what the Artist Academy membership is, say you just started listening to the podcast, or you've been listening for a while, but you really like the business talk interviews, but you're not sure what you're signing up for $1. Like, why is this so good? Why should you go to artistacademy.co, the link in the description, and pay $1 for this thing? What is this? So let me tell you about it. I started videoing myself anytime I did a painting technique or a back-end strategy, or how I got jobs with painting, anything that had to do with art, business, and painting. I did a tutorial on it. I showed people how I'm doing it. Things like sending emails, how I talk to my customers, how I price, specifically how I send invoices, how like the not fun stuff, like proposals and all that. But it's also the stuff that gets me jobs. There's a reason that I'm busy doing high-paying jobs nowadays. It's because I've done all this back end for so many years. It's paying off now. And I share everything that I do inside of the Academy. And you can go in there and watch it at your leisure whenever you have time in the next month. Even if it's 1 hour on a Monday or the 30 minutes on the weekend, like, you can go in, watch a tutorial, learn something new in order to make money in your business. Because I know there are so many talented artists out there, but not many know how to do the back end of it. So I made it easy for you. You can just use the search feature within the Academy. Say you need help with pitching. You can search in the Academy, and there will be many videos that pop up where I interview other people on how they pitch, how I show exactly how I do it with the flyer that I use, and just every little thing that you could use is in there. And if it's not, and you're looking for something, comment in our Facebook group and I'll add it. Easy, right? So I want to help you, either if you're not in the place of where you want to be in your art career, say you're working at the job that you maybe just doesn't make you come alive. You're not creative in this job and it just doesn't fulfill you, but because you see me, this small town Missouri girl, making 6 figures in her mural business. You're like, okay, if she can do it, like, you can do it. That's exactly what it took for me. I was like, okay, if the other person can do it, I can do it, right? I just need to figure out how. So I stumbled and I figured it out, but you can use my stumblings to figure it out a little bit quicker. I've coached other artists to quit their full-time job, to flourish in the painting world, and some to even make 6 figures, which we've had on this podcast before. And I can help you too. Just hop into our Facebook group, ask questions. I see every question that goes on there. And if I don't get to it, some of our other 6-figure muralists will get to it first. Or we'll all ask questions, pricing questions. Am I doing this right? Questions. I just had a really bad interaction with a customer. What do I do? Like, everything on the back end that you maybe, if you don't have family that knows what they're doing in this section, or you don't have friends, or you don't have a mentor, this is what it is. The Artist Academy membership is your mentorship in your back pocket. So join for just $1 for the next month. So for the now to basically the rest of the year, you can join for just $1, but you have to sign up before December 1st. So it's this week only. Sign up before December 1st and you will get that $1 rate. And if you're listening to it after this, it's $37 a month. Still doesn't break the bank, but that $1 rate is only for now until December 1st. So go to artistacademy.co and I will see you inside of the Facebook group and on our call on Mondays. We have calls every Mondays where people can ask me questions live. Basically, it's everything that you need. So go to artistacademy.co, sign up for $1. Okay, I'll see you next week.